Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the weekly comic book roundup. We've made it through this week's DC books. Now to move on to this week's Marvel books and Image books later. Kicking things off, we've got X-Men number 9, continuing the Raid on Greymalkin crossover. So where we left off, both teams had made it to Greymalkin Prison, formerly the Xavier School for gifted youngsters. But a member of the prison staff, they were basically was causing them to fight each other. And so the issue opens in the sublevels of the prison, formerly the Morlock tunnels. Nightcrawler and has teleported himself and Psylocke there, but and Nightcrawler notices once they materialize that neither of them are experiencing the same artificial anger. But the warden is irritated by the fact that there are so many X-Men in her prison and not one of them is in a cell. And with them also at inmate X's doorstep. But they've got the trustees and the Wolfpack Sentinels so that should be remedied soon enough. Though Captain Ezra thinks that's not true, and the psychic they have on staff states that he can't control the trustees if he's pushing the X-Men's emotions. But the warden says that to Captain Ezra that they're just mutants. However, Ezra says that they aren't just mutants, they're X-Men. However, the warden doesn't give a damn what letters they wear on their uniforms. They're just mutants, as far as he's concerned. But the X-Men start working together. Wolverine takes on Wild Child, from the trustees, one of the trustees, while Blob takes on, or not Blob, but Juggernaut takes on Blob. Jubilee and Temper argue while fighting the others. A lot of arguing amongst the two teams, though apparently Deathstream is a fan of Magic's work, even as she steals a kill from Juggernaut. Ransom ends up helping out eye-to-eye with Temper with one of the Wolfpack Sentinels. And once dust settles, Rogue asks Cyclops, "What now? What?" But The staff psychic is apparently named Scurvy, and the warden tells him to enact the white light protocol. But he says that he starts to say that they can't. But he claims to be a psychic to rival Xavier, so she wants to prove it to her. But in the Morlock tunnels, Psylocke and Nightcrawler make their way towards a door similar to the door leading to Prisoner X's cell. And there's a distinct change in Psylocke's speech patterns. As the two make it. But Rogue and Cyclops argue about releasing Xavier. Cyclops is against it, saying that under no circumstances will he allow Xavier to be freed. He adds that, and she does exactly mean liberation. He says they are free. Xavier has always manipulated us. Always will always manipulate us, all for the sake of the dream. And what has that gotten us? Now we're free of Xavier's dream, free to follow dreams of our own. Because he's in there and we're out here. Let Charles Xavier back into the world, and that's all over. Then we're all back on his leash. Rogue disagrees, but and Cyclops points out that Xavier made him watch as he murdered the crew of the Agnew during Fall of the House of X. But Scurvy enters the battlefield, and it says, all this worry about Xavier, and you never stop to think about who could keep the world's most powerful psychic locked down. And the white light protocol is enacted. And Juggernaut starts to decides that they got to get the one guy that their one chance. And it starts to tear the door that houses inmate X. However, from the sub-basement, formerly the Morlock tunnels, Charles Xavier steps out with Nightcrawler and Psylocke, stating that despite the name, he is not Inmate X. And that is where the issue ends. Also, point out that Nightcrawler and Psylocke actually freed Omega Red during their time in the Morlock tunnels. Moving on to our last book for a moment, we've got Exceptional X-Men number 4. Where we left off, Kate Pryde had been opted to teach to co-train 3 young mutants that she had discovered in Chicago with Emma Frost. And Iceman showed up. So the issue opens Bronze is at school. There's a musical there's an audition coming up for The Loveliest Sunday. She's wanting to audition, and apparently the guy that she has a crush on is auditioning as well. But during superhero training for her, she fights it. She basically she has to fight a Sentinel in a presumably a mental delusion from Emma Frost. Uh, Iceman gives her a C plus, but Iceman's constantly excusing himself to talk on his phone. And kind of ingratiating himself into Kate's life, especially. Apparently, Bobby had an idea to make Shabbat dinner for Kate and her roommate, and they talked. Apparently, there's a text that's forums asking for status, and then he claims that he's pinned Kate down and will update soon. But Kate asks him what he's doing there, and Bobby accuses Kate of being invasive. Kate accuses him of being pushy and weird, and tells him to go home. Tells him, not asks him. Ron doesn't get the part, but one of the interdimensional fractures from X-Force opens in her school, and she manages to transform back and forth at will, and take out the demon that came out of the fracture. She's offered to understudy for the role of Violetta, or maybe Violetta's headstrong sister Florence, but Bronze decides that maybe next time, because she's got another after-school engagement. She's happy about the whole thing, but and Kate and Emma are there. Apparently, Bobby is getting some equipment from the back. Kate goes to check on him and overhears his phone call, part of it at least. And he tells whoever's on the other end of the phone that he thinks that Kate's off her game. And apparently he's been sent by Rogue and Gambit to check on her and make sure things are going well. But it's not exactly helping Kate want to go back to the X-Men. But they argue, and she doesn't really want to. Basically, her time as Shadow Cat with a K, is left some trauma behind, and that's why she doesn't want to be an X-Men anymore. Mentioned that she killed people. But she walks out into the studio. Melee apparently psychically overheard it and asked in shock that she killed people. And that is where the issue ends. good issue. So far, the only one of the new X-Men team books that the actual X-Men team books called X-Men, with X-Men in the title. It's shipping it only once a month, but it'll be nice, interesting to see how things where things go from this issue. But anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, Mastodon, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.